Let me tell you something, my friend. Hope is a dangerous thing.
Morgan Freeman don't lie. Hope is dangerous, but it's what keeps college football fans hanging on in the tough times. Today, hope is fueled by
the transfer portal.
The transfer portal.
The transfer portal.
But will the prospect signal a path to prosperity or a pit of despair? We'll know by April. But why wait? Inside information, a flimsy stat, and a bold prediction. It's time for FSU Portal Prognostication. All right, what's up, everybody? We got Ty Spalding, the publisher of the Rebels.com, Louisville site, CardinalSports.com. Check him out. Ty knows what he's talking about. Greedy Vance, the guy that transferred from Louisville down to Tallahassee, 3-star recruit. What was the expectations when Jamie signed and committed with Louisville?
He was a guy that Louisville snagged late in the process, and a guy that the coaches were really excited about. He was a guy that Brian Brown, the defensive coordinator, figured to be a large part of this defense. He played in all 12 games this year. He was second on the team in pass breakups. So he was a guy that Louisville didn't want to lose. Brian Brown addressed that in a press conference.
Saw today where Greedy Vance has entered the transfer portal. Was this a surprise, because he seemed to really come on and play some good football for you guys at the end of the season?
Yeah, Greedy, man. He's been coming along all year long, and I love that kid to death, man. He's a great football player. He's going to be a pretty good football player.
So all in all, Greedy Vance was going to be a starter, a returning starter for this Louisville defense, and a guy that Louisville didn't want to lose. When the Rivals portal Twitter account tweeted it out, Louisville fans just went into a frenzy. They immediately smashed the panic button. No one really saw this coming. The defensive coordinator, Brian Brown, he chalked it up to Greedy Vance wanting to move closer to home.
Greedy just has some family issues and things, family personal things back at home that he want to try to get closer to home. He's from New Orleans, and he's from a nice sized family to where he's used to those guys being around a lot. When you're an 18, 19-year-old kid, sometimes that kind of gets to you a little bit. But we had conversations multiple times. I didn't want to leave. He really doesn't want to leave. But just some certain circumstances back at home that he was, try to get a little bit closer to home.
Big loss for Louisville, and it's something that caught Louisville fans' eyes. They mapped out Tallahassee to New Orleans and how much closer that was than Louisville to New Orleans, to really try and figure out, was he really transferring to be closer to home? I think this is a situation where, with the one-time transfer, a lot of these kids see better opportunities, whether that be NIL, exposure, whatever it may be.
Take that for data.
I love that. Now time for a statistic to stew on. Like if I told you in the next 2 years or so, Greedy Vance is going to be first team all ACC, what would you think about that?
He's a guy that has plenty of experience, and he's a guy that has a really high football IQ. He was a guy that Louisville's defense was going to be centered around on the outside. So if you told me he was an all-ACC player, I wouldn't be all that shocked. But he does have a smaller frame. Just at 5'10", 160 pounds. So he's oozing with potential if Florida State's strength and conditioning program can add some weight and find a role at Florida State. And another thing about him, he's very versatile. He played the nickel role his freshman year. He can play on the outside as well. But he's a guy that has plenty of potential. He's got experience. And by all accounts, all interactions with the media, he's a very good kid. The thing with transfers is there's guys you don't mind losing to the portal, and there's guys that you don't want to lose to the portal. Greedy Vance was a guy that you didn't want to lose.